So I have this questionable habit of buying way more books than I can read. I love going to this particular recycled bookstore to see what kind of Hindu books they've kind of gained in stock. They always have new stuff because it's a huge used bookstore and people are always going there to turn in used books, get new ones, and you know, basically get a little bit of money for whatever they want to turn in. But I look at the Hinduism section and I look for books about the Upanishads or anything to do with the Upanishads. I found a few sources that give a lot of good recommendations for books about the Upanishads or regarding the Upanishads or translations of the Upanishads. But I found that it's very serendipitous and almost like feels like destiny or fate when I find books on the Upanishads that I didn't look up from another source, but just kind of happened upon in a half-price bookstore. And and I've continued to grow my collection. I also get books on magic from this bookstore, the occult, and other spiritual topics, other spiritual areas of study and discussion. But generally, I look through the Hinduism section and look for books on the Upanishads, which I'm about to go do and see what I can find. But yeah, it's a guilty pleasure of mine to go to this bookstore and other half-price bookstores and look for books about the Upanishads. Sometimes I'll pick up stuff regarding psychology or philosophy. That used to be more of my thing, is philosophy. But I've kind of settled into the Upanishads as far as like where my spiritual interest lands, but also where I'm interested in reading about, gaining understanding about the Upanishads. I'm a Shakta Hindu, very much a Advaita Vedantist. I like to style myself, which is non-dual Vedantist. So yeah, let me see if I can find any in the section of recycled books. So recycled books is in the Square in Denton, Texas, and it's always a challenge to find a parking spot because there's a limited amount, like in this kind of basically square. But I found one that's right beside recycled books over there. So yeah, it looks like fortune is smiling upon me this day. Recycled books. That's what I'm looking for.
I found the H. Remember, this is the jazz shop.
Where's the aisle?
Take it back, so I found it. Found it. $30. Hey, local music. Good, bro. Yeah.
Was not looking for this, but Swami Sri Yukteswar is the master of Paramahansa Yogananda, and I don't have any books by him. He's only written a few books. Show you the back there. Interesting. One of the main things you'll find in Hinduism section in most used bookstores is a huge section where Hare Krishna books have kind of taken up a vast section of the shelf. They give them out for free, and Hare Krishna is very big on their evangelical kind of pushing their ideology. So their books are everywhere, but then people will turn them in for money. But yes, these Hare Krishna section is kind of taken up about, I would say, a fourth of all Hindu books. Maybe a fourth, yeah. Something like that. Here's their kind of magic and witchcraft section. It also has shaman books over here. Sometimes they'll have some good picks, other times not. It's It's kind of where they keep all their shaman books right here.
No, not that back there. Go to the front, my
Not a whole lot to pick from when it comes to magic right now, or the occult. Neo-paganism. Got some options. This section isn't always as full as this. Looks like they got more than usual in this little neo-paganism section.
right there.
And they got an astrology section. There's always going to be a lot of books in that section in a used bookstore.
Oh, yeah. That.
And kind of flirting with the occult section. Tarot, divination, chakras, water magic. And of course they got their tarot cards kind of locked up because those are more expensive. I actually got more tarot cards than usual. They always have like a rider deck, but I don't even see a rider deck this time. I've never even heard of the Decameron tarot. Interesting. And then they have another section over here that's kind of like Christian mysticism section. I usually think of it as. Yeah, yeah, that's literally what it's called. And I don't know too much about, honestly, any of these books. Christian mysticism, besides Inner Christianity. I do have that book, and that's actually a pretty good Christian mystic book, but not my usual area. The lefty in me always likes to check out their leftist political philosophy books. I wouldn't say I'm much differently aligned these days, but I do not focus on it nearly as much as I used to. I like to peruse all kinds of different ideas when it comes to politics. Definitely more of an anarcho-primitivist at heart at this point. Voted on the Green Party. This section doesn't really get a lot of love. They even have a Napoleon section. I used to peruse a lot when I was studying Napoleon, just for my own self, because it's interesting. But yeah, there's always this old book smell everywhere in this recycled books. Another section I used to peruse quite a bit when I was increasing my history, my Mediterranean / ancient history library. I do have a lot of ancient history books. Ancient Greece and Rome has always been a fascination for me, like so many others, to be honest. Many people are into. Good amount of people read Tacitus and Suetonius and the like. They used to have a little Viking nope, their Viking section gone. Yeah, I'm not even seeing it now. Their Viking section was never really big, but looks like it's been completely covered over now. Plenty of ancient Greece and Rome books, though. It's a maze. Native American books should be over here. In the bottom of the basement. They have a pretty good section with all kinds of Native American books. Like this, it's this whole section here. Not my area of, I am 32% Native American, but it's not my area of knowledge, that's for sure. I do use some Native American spiritual techniques in graveyards and in my spiritual practices, but just kind of loosely Native American. Work with a lot of sage, Palo Santo, and the like. And I do have a buffalo skin drum in fairness, which I do use. Myths and Legends of the Sioux. I like how they have little mounts for the ones I think is either good or will catch people's eye. Interesting. So I bought that Holy Sciences book. I'm gonna place that in my car, and we're gonna go in this little mini mall right here that I also like to frequent. It's got a lot of good little nicks and knacks, and they used to have like a little candle and magic section, but I think that's gone. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go in here, and I'll show you little pieces of the store called the mini mall in Denton Square, or downtown mini mall in Denton Square. Interesting wooden statues. I actually really like that one. I don't know if it's worth $9. It might be. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's just $9. Tiki Hawaii. If I were to decorate my house with all this stuff, it'd look pretty crazy, especially stuff I would fill it with. They always have some crystals there in a little bowl of questionable authenticity. That tourmaline looks real. And that amethyst is probably real. Of course, I'm not the best at being able to tell these things, but some of these things gotta be real. 59, oof. Yeah. Got a good little assortment of crystals. Walking. Oh, more crystals. Almost looks like the same stuff from up front. It's like they got duplicates or something. I don't even know. That's supposed to be lapis lazuli. $12 is not bad. But that's definitely a pipe. Crystal cross. Yeah, it looks like duplicates. These are good for mojo bags or talismans or charms. Good thing to add. $6. Old cameras. Since I'm a photography major, this section is exciting. These horns are expensive for some reason. $44.99. Oof. Yeah, I ain't paying that for that. Even this one is $18.99. I got antlers. I like antlers, but that's a little pricey. All the ammo crates that you could want. I think they're like $15 a piece. They have so many. Yeah, they're $20. Still not bad. Order these on Amazon, they'll be a lot more. If I was playing dress up, I have plenty of stuff for that. That ain't stopping a bullet. Evening, sir. Book selection usually not great. Bunch of really random stuff. Way more random and of lower quality than recycled books, to be honest. Bunch of random stuff, which is what I always expect. Some knives. Knives are knives. 60. Do love me some hatchets. Throwing hatchets. Neat. So the only thing that I bought today is The Holy Science by Swami Sri Yukteswar. So this is actually a book that I first heard about in, I think it was Swami Kriyananda, one of his books where he spoke about his life of Paramahansa Yogananda and at Encinitas, California, and their hermitage there, and the words and the understanding of Paramahansa Yogananda as described by Swami Sri Kriyananda. But The Holy Science is a book that I heard about a long time ago. Probably, I guess that was about, when I first listened to that was about 10 years ago. And it's just to show you what it says on the back. I think I showed you earlier, but regardless, I was looking for this to get this book eventually, and I didn't want to order it because it's kind of expensive on Amazon. But I feel like fate has led me to finally get this book. It's not even that thick, not that long. But yeah, not very many people know about Swami Sri Yukteswar, and not enough know about Paramahansa Yogananda. I feel like more people know about Sadhguru or of course Hare Krishna and Swami Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. But not a lot of people know about Paramahansa Yogananda. I think more people, but once Kriya Yoga starts gaining ground in the United States and kind of gaining ground globally as we proceed into what Dwapara Yoga, then more and more people will know about him. I think more people know about Sri Ramakrishna than Paramahansa Yogananda. And the thing about avatars and yogis and most swamis is that they're on very similar missions to the West. And in general, there are facilitators that enlighten the world bit by bit based on what people are ready to hear, what people are both open to but are able to comprehend. And wherever they're at, wherever humanity in general is at spiritually, there will be spiritual masters that come and kind of guide us along the way and move us towards higher and higher realization, higher and higher understanding, and so that we can each eventually reach moksha, liberation. And there's different phases of liberation, but liberation from material existence. And we're very much at an in-between stage. So we are getting people like Swami Sri Yukteswar, but that was about 100 years ago that he was alive. We're going to get more and more. I think Sadhguru is definitely on the level of, I don't know if he's on the level of Swami Sri Yukteswar or Paramahansa Yogananda, but I feel like he might be. But a lot of these various enlightened teachers and gurus, they will gain more fame later on, the further away from their life that we get, because it's so hard for human beings to fully comprehend a person on that level and their mission when they were alive and even directly after. It took how many centuries for Christ to gain a huge following, or Muhammad, or these very religious examples and not necessarily spiritual examples, because over time religion becomes dogmatized, and then the message can also get skewed and changed and taken the wrong way and taken in a bad direction, a negative direction, a more materialistic direction. But the further we get away from Swami Sri Ramakrishna, the more people will realize that he's an avatar. I don't think Paramahansa Yogananda or Swami Sri Yukteswar are avatars. I think Babaji is an avatar who is a master of Yukteswar's master. But Sri Ramakrishna is definitely an avatar, and more people will realize that over time. And the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna will become more and more popular over time. But books like this will also become more and more popular over time as people are able to grasp the teachings of these masters. At any rate, I just wanted to show y'all the Recycle Bookstore and give you a little taste of the downtown mini mall in in Denton Square. I hope you enjoyed this kind of video. If you like this kind of video, let me know in the comment section. Give this video a like. If you enjoyed it at all, it helps out the channel a lot, and feel free to share this wherever you like. At any rate, thank you very much for watching, and I hope all of you have a wonderful day. Little bit of side explanation to how I ended up doing these videos in the square and talking about these things is that I left my film camera, not my digital camera, but my film camera in the classroom in my darkroom class. And I'd already taken the bus to the parking lot because I have to take a bus to and from a parking lot because parking at UNT is that crazy. Either that or I have to walk 15 minutes to my car and then 15 minutes there, back, whatever. One direction is 15 minutes. So I was on the bus and I had my backpack, but I did not. And then I realized I had left this bag here in the classroom, and I couldn't take the bus back because it was the last bus going to the parking lot that's by the stadium where I park, where most people park. It's a big parking lot. It's the biggest parking lot they have. But so I had to get in my car and then go and drive to the parking lot, which then would have enough spots in it that's next to the art building that I go to classes in. And then I got my camera, got back in my car, said, hey, I might as well go to the square because the square is much closer to the art building than it is to the other parking lot. And if I was in the other parking lot, I wouldn't have come to the square. But since the parking lot next to the art building is closer, I was able to come here. I'll say, screw it. I'll go and see if they have, like, I need more spiritual books, but I'll go and see if they have any spiritual books that I would be interested in. And it's funny how destiny, fate, or your spirit guides, whatever you want to call them. I'm being very vague so I can kind of include everybody in this. But it's funny how we're led to certain things, whether it be books, whether it be people, or whether it be other kinds of material like statues or something like that. Everything seems to come together, but it doesn't come together in a way that we would expect. But yeah, that's how I was led to the Holy Science book today.